What happens when you watch a shipwreck?
I don't know.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
You let it sink in.
All right.
Like a
Thanks
doctor.
for being here. So
My pleasure,
one of the
buddy.
things I always forget to do is introduce who I'm talking to.
Sure.
I think this is the first time I've remembered it, is that you're my fifth guest,
Cool.
Maurizio.
Yeah.
We know each other because you've cut my hair for the last 10 or 11 years.
Right.
Done a fantastic job at it, but we're not here to talk about how you cut hair. We're talking about
Yeah.
the stuff
No, we don't need to.
from, as I describe it, as sort of your 5 to 9, the stuff you do outside of your work hours. I think over the last 10 or 11 or however many years, you've talked to me about some of the things you do that are a lot of fun for you.
Right.
That's really...
Yeah. We've shared some interesting conversations together, and it's been nice talking to you for sure over the years. But yeah, I can be very simple, or I can be a lot of fun, or anything in between. Depends on my mood or what I want to do and the day or the week, the month, or the situation. You know what I mean? So I enjoy even little things. I love where I live, and there's a nice walking trail.
Yeah.
I love going for my walks. Sometimes I'd wake up in the summertime. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and just go for a nice walk on the trail. Shirt off. It's not too hot. It's just perfect amount of sun, and it's just nice little walk. Go home, have breakfast, and go to work. I have my car. I have a 2007 Porsche. I love that thing. I just took it out today for the first time. I love going for drives. Drives is another thing. Drives and walk. A little bit of that solitude is nice because I think the daily grind of what I do, I talk to many people, which I love to do. It just having that other, that solitude is kind of nice, kind of balances it out. Yeah. You talk to people every day, all day, and you got many things going on. To have a little bit of that peace is kind of nice. So
yeah, and I'm sure I have the same thing. I get home and you've talked to people all day, and you need just a little bit of quiet. So,
right.
That's one of the things. There's always, you've talked to me about different road trips you've done. What are some of what are the top 2 or 3 road trips you've gone on? And part of why I asked that question, as I was thinking about it, knowing we were getting together, I've been listening to this podcast and thinking about this idea of awe, the things that you see that sort of, you go, oh, amazing, that vista, that view.
Right.
Sort of, there's a spot where you come down the DVP in Toronto where you see the CN Tower in the distance.
Amazing.
By the building.
Amazing.
And I'm assuming on some of those road trips, you've got to stop and be like, look at that.
Awesome.
That's why I'm here, is this view.
So that's a little if you want to call that a road trip, but I love doing that evening drive down the DVP through the Gardiner. I go right across the CN Tower, Sky Dome, Rogers Center, whatever you want to call it, and hop back on the Gardiner and come back home. But when you're getting close to the CN Tower and it's all lit up, it's just spectacular at night. And it's a great drive. And other drives I love going up north, Daryl. I love going to Huntsville or Penetanguishene. There's a beach there that I love to see. It's one of my favorite spots. I go to this place called Balm Beach, BALM, Balm Beach. It's near Midland. It's only about an hour and a half from Newmarket, Aurora. And funny story, me and my buddies found that place by fluke back in late 90s. We had rented a cottage in Wasaga, and we got lost. We couldn't find, not that we got lost, we couldn't find the cottage. And we were taking the side roads, right, to find this cottage, and we couldn't find it. We ended up in Balm Beach. We ended up at Balm Beach. It was 7, 8 p.m. There was nobody around. We ended up sleeping in our cars, right? And I'll never forget, years later, I was dating this girl, and we're trying to figure out what to do. I'm let's go to Balm Beach. It's probably about 7, 8 years after that. And back then, at that time, when I was dating her, the GPS was out. So I put in Balm Beach, and I've been going ever since. So that's one of my favorite spots to go to as well.
Yeah, and it's funny. And I think, getting lost is sometimes the best part of a road trip too, or sort of not finding your way the way you do. My friends of mine used to always give me a hard time that I would take the long cut to get to places because that's the most interesting way to
discover something.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Even on my drives, I'll just be like, let's see where this road goes. And it's just spend more time with the car and you discover more things. Now, I will say this. There is an amazing road trip. It's an organization. It's kind of like a company. It's called Guess Where Trips. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if your viewers want to look it up, it's really cool. You can buy a local road trip with sites, okay, all organized for like $75. And they'll mail you the entire package, beautiful package, envelopes, sorted out, organized. It's called Guess Where Trip. So I did a waterfall and caves trip. Mm-hmm. And I saw like these places in Ontario that are unreal. Yeah. And never like Eugenia Falls. Like who heard of Eugenia Falls? And it's not that far from here. It's like somewhere like between Orangeville and Guelph, not tucked away somewhere. Yeah. Really cool. So Guess Where Trips is pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I think just back to the sort of going down roads that you didn't plan on going down. Like there's like, it's funny that to me sometimes is an analogy of where we're at right now, whereas we just don't take the time to go and try something different. Right. Like, I think that's why I've always admired when you do the road trips is because you're taking, it's a low tech sort of, you're with yourself or some friends and you're going there and it's something that's meaningful to you that isn't on a screen. It's real.
It's just simple things, Daryl, because, the world nowadays is super fast and everything. So there's a lot of pressure. And I think, us being from that Gen X generation, I don't know about you, but I long for simplicity, right? I long for I remember those times, like when you look at pictures and nobody had a cell phone, or you watch concerts and people in the crowd, nobody had a cell phone, even like when I step into my car, it's a 2007, it's just a CD player. Right. There's no navigation. It's like pure, very analog car. And I'm like, I like it. It's just simple. Yeah. And doing these road trips takes me back to that a little bit as well. Yeah. Right. You just like simple life.
Yeah. Just exploring.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the simplicity is sort of what I've been trying to do with this, right? That's why we do a Polaroid at the beginning.
Love it.
Just a book of jokes and just talking. No phones.
No.
Because I think the art of connection in some ways is lost. And I've talked about this at other times with other people that have been on, is that, we don't, and it's ironic that I need to use technology like a podcast or a podcast studio to carve out the time to have a conversation with somebody that that means something to me and that has been a part of my life for over a decade.
Right.
So it's, we've got to find more opportunities to do the road trips for you or for a conversation like this or any other thing. So I think you've talked to me about some restaurants or places you found on your road trips too, because you know how I feel about food. I'm always looking for places.
Yeah, there's always interesting. I love
Super Burger place in Primrose is always at Highway 9 and that's Airport Road. I never remember, but the onion rings are just worth.
Are they? Yeah. Yeah. There's a wicked food truck in Huntsville.
Oh yeah,
they make the best tacos. Holy!
Was it as good as Taco Mori and Tobermory?
Oh, really? Eh? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we have to do a test.
Tobermory is another nice spot. Yeah. I'd like to do that drive this year. That's a bit of a hike. Yeah. I did that once. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, the view coming down off the escarpment.
Unreal.
Like coming into Wyerton, when you're coming down that hill and see over the lake. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Back to restaurants. I remember on the way back from Tobermory, we stopped in some like country restaurant. And it was really cool. It was just like a bunch of just different world, man. Simple people, great food. It was a Sunday. You could tell it was just like a family restaurant. I like that. That was a cool moment. Just, you could tell it was like a community place. Yeah. Right? I miss that. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of chains here. I think it also changes the pace at which you eat too, right? Like whenever you're on a road trip or you're on vacation,
Right.
you tend to slow down.
Sure.
You're not hammering food in just because you got to get on to the next appointment.
Right.
Or, you've got work to do. So that's the beauty, I think, of, your evenings and weekends is you can set the tone, you can set the pace, and enjoy those smaller restaurants.
Right. Yeah. I know, but it's hard to, sometimes it's hard, like, fast paced life. It's just hard to put the brakes on sometimes. So, having like certain things like walking or doing little road trips kind of pushes you to like slow down a little bit, right? Or else you get caught up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure for you that quiet on the road has got to be important just to get away. The thing I like, how do you have conversations with people all day long?
Oh, how do I? It's hard, man. It's difficult. There's times when it's fine. And there's times where it's a little bit like, it's difficult, challenging. Sometimes you're going to have to listen to people when you don't want to, but it just comes with the territory.
Like, I'm sure it's therapeutic sometimes for people too, to be able to come to you, right? Like you play an interesting role. You're right. And I hate to talk about work in a podcast.
No, that's fine. No, that's cool. Like, I love what I do. It's a big part of my life. So, there was so I don't know if you know, but I used to do hair shows with L'Oreal Group. I worked with Matrix Canada, right? So we did hair shows, education, and all that. So we would always have our semi-annual meetings in Montreal, and they would bring interesting people for us to talk or train or whatever, right? So one time they brought in this gentleman who I can't remember his name. He wrote a book. And he is a psychologist,
right?
But he wrote a book on hairdressers and how people open up to their hairdresser more than they do their psychologist,
right?
Right. So he's like, he couldn't believe that, two total strangers. So, for example, me and you, right? You come to me at first time, you sit in my chair, right? And within like 5 minutes, you're just shooting out your whole life story. Like, and you feel like confident and at ease to do so. And he was just like trying to figure out why are people doing that? So yeah, it was pretty interesting. What I remember from that is like, there's a submissiveness to like sitting in the chair and just like letting it go.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, and I think probably also the position you're in together is that you're not face to face, which is sometimes harder to sort of be.
Right, maybe.
To pull back those layers of defenses. But it's just, it's a casual conversation. It's not, there's nothing tied up into this other than your hair. And, yeah, it's interesting.
But it's amazing. Like, people are trusting you with their image, right?
Yeah.
Their look. And then they trust you with like
absolutely
whatever's going on in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know what? I got to be honest. I've learned so much for free, right? I've had so much free education from people.
That's amazing.
Right? Yeah. Like,
yeah. And every time I talk to you, you're talking about, this, a buddy of yours you've met through what you do. Yeah. And I guess I hadn't even thought about that it's, it's really a two-way relationship. You're not just talking, you're listening and you're sharing who they are and sharing parts of them. And you've traveled to visit clients and hosted you and wanted to share their lives.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like it's becomes like a little family. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting that you are sort of you're protecting their image, like, it's important to people, right? Like,
absolutely. For sure.
I like to think I'm not just a pretty face, but at the end of the day, I probably am just a pretty face. So the fact that you look after my hair, that's a sacred responsibility to stay in the bond.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fascinating. And shifting gears a little bit, like we've talked about your mom's cooking and sort of, I think the Italian sort of culture,
right?
You grew up not far from where I did, a little bit younger than me, but that, I've always been fascinated by, and you've talked to me about, the things you do together, like, making the tomato sauce,
the wine,
making the wine.
Like wine.
Tell me about like, just, it's getting close to, season again where you start to do those types of things together.
So I don't do it anymore. Like we still make wine. My parents still do the sauce, but I don't do that anymore. But growing up in it was cool. It was fun. Like, so I grew up, in Woodbridge, Martin Grove and Highway 7, and we were all Italian. Like it was like 99% Italians. So come like end of August, early September, every garage door is open. Everybody's doing tomatoes. Everybody's making sauce. So growing up in it was fun as a little kid. I used to tell my parents, I'd wash the tomatoes and then my mother would lay them out to like ripen a little bit. And the whole process was really cool. Like it was like you actually see something like from a tomato into like a sauce, and the whole process is really cool. Yeah. And then the winemaking is even cooler. It's a lot more work. Yeah. There's a lot more of a process to that. But my father was one of like only few people to make wine and make good wine. And he still does it. He makes it with a friend of ours, family friend, Chris, from London, Ontario, that we met in 1995 in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's an island there called Margarita Island. Back in the day, used to be a really popular spot for Canadians and Americans to travel. Mm-hmm. So we met Chris there, and ever since then, he's become like such a good family friend. Yeah. My mother taught him how to make sauce. So him and his kids now, they make sauce. Yeah. But every year he still comes down to Woodbridge because my father has all the machines and the drums and all that stuff. So
that's
and then make the wine. Yeah. So I still have bottles of wine that I made from like 2012, some 2018. Yeah. I always made a Cab Sauvignon. It was good. Right. So we buy the grapes, right? We don't buy the juice. We actually buy the grapes. My father has a machine that crushes the grapes. And it's a lengthy process, but it's interesting.
And I think that, the sort of my observation, and so, there's always sort of this thing that you work hard enough so you don't have to do that kind of stuff, right? Like I think there was a period in time where it's like, I work hard so I can just go and buy that stuff so I don't have to do it. It's so much work. But then as I get older, I'm like, there's something about making your own sauce and there's something particularly communal and community-based, I think, particularly in your community, in the Italians, where you come together and you make your sauce together, you make your wine and you share that experience. There's something really special about that I think progress sort of beat out of us because like, well, we'll just go and buy
That's right.
We'll just go buy the sauce, but it's not the same.
It's not.
Actually, not in a lot of ways. In any ways, it's the same.
I could think something like this. Oh, well, we work too hard. Yeah. But then I look at my parents. They worked just as hard and still did it. Yeah. But they made time for it, right? Yeah. Instead of like, I don't know, going for a weekend somewhere, Niagara Falls, they would make the sauce or do the wine. And so, maybe we would look at it like a little bit of a sacrifice, but for them it was something like pleasure and pride as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as I mean, we've talked about this, like one of the greatest joys that I've discovered in the last 10 years is cooking and cooking, like, with real ingredients.
Sure.
Learning from, I spend a lot of time watching the Latino Network.
You love Lydia, right?
Oh, Lydia is my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's that slow process of sort of being present.
Right.
And I think it's very tangible with your hands. Like, and just the nature of my work is I don't spend a lot of time working my hands.
Right.
I get a chance to do that. But I've always been a little envious of, families like yours that do that kind of stuff together.
Yeah.
Because, it's not always something that, we did.
No.
So.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing, maybe.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, it was
waiting. Cool. I'm waiting for that invitation. I'm coming one day. I don't drink wine, but
no.
I at least want to come.
It's laborious. You gotta work.
Yeah.
You gotta lift 45-pound cases of grapes.
You're worth it.
Get dirty
for that.
It's awesome though.
Maybe not the get dirty thing.
It's all sticky too because of all the sugar from the grapes, and then you're like battling bees because they love it.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's when it's all said and done, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And a connection to the land and something special,
right?
That you get out of it, right? Like,
speaking of connection to the land, like where my parents are from, it's a small town. And when me and my father went back 2 years ago, would have been 2024. It's just like, I had a realization. I'm like, man, I feel like I kind of belong here in a way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this weird connection, even though I never lived there.
Right.
I don't know if I could live there because it's a very slow pace of life, maybe later on in life. Yeah. I still feel like this is my home. These are my people here. But there was something weird about going there and, walking around the town and seeing like olive trees growing and people having grapes on their property. And my cousin raises a pig every year and then they slaughter it and make whatever they got to make out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very it's kind of nice.
Yeah. There's a pace to it.
There's a pace to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's an intentionality around that pace that's different than us, right? Like the intention is to not rush through everything. And
right.
They measure out time differently. And I think, we've compressed time so much because we've got so much pressure in terms of commuting and getting here and then we've got to do this, we've got to do there. And I think and maybe it's artificial in the sense that when you're traveling, you can change time because you have all those things. But, I haven't traveled a lot, but I kind of get that feeling that maybe certain parts of the world use time to their benefit in ways that we don't.
Like my cousins in Italy.
Yeah.
Like some of them never traveled ever.
Right.
They don't even care for it. You never heard them say, I want to go there. Yeah. They could. It's not like they can't afford it. They could. It's just, it's not a priority.
It's like, let's go.
I feel like for me, it's like, I like to travel.
Yeah.
But it's almost like A, a need.
Yeah.
And then B, a want. It's more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, why can't I don't know. We're just wired different.
Yeah. Well, and
like my cousin Vittorio, he doesn't care to travel. Like he's got his house, he's got a job, lives everyday life the same, and he's happy. It's all good. Like, every day they go eat all together at his mom's house, which is like a block away.
Yeah, they all
eat lunch together, and then they go home, and then he'll eat a snack later on at night with his wife and kids, and here's.
But they don't. I wonder whether it's because they don't have to live through 4 months of winter like we just did. I think.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
This sort of undying need to get away from the oppression of the cold.
Right. I often think like if I lived in Orange County, California, which is one of my favorite spots, I don't think I'd ever need to.
Right. Yeah.
Like, maybe you take a trip because you wanted to, not because you need to.
Yeah.
Right. Be like, I want to go see something different, but it's so nice there all year round.
Yeah.
Right.
I sometimes feel like traveling is a reprieve from, because it is. And winter is long. It's dark, right?
It's brutal.
You run low on vitamin D, you need that injection of sunny weather. And
yeah, it's nice. Like I was just in Jamaica a couple of weeks ago, it was nice. Just walk around in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Kind of forget what that's like.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. Soon.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the whole thing of this podcast is talking about what makes you smile. I think we talked a lot about it, but I'm going to ask you specifically the question. What makes you smile, right? Like, is there anything we haven't covered that?
What makes me smile?
Yeah.
A lot of things make me smile. One thing that comes to mind, positive connection with positive people.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that look like? So what?
You know what? I'll tell you something. Like what comes to mind right now could be just something like looking at somebody that you've never seen before and just making a smile.
Yeah.
Like just like that eye contact, and you're like, you can tell like there's a good positive connection. Have you ever experienced a moment like that?
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. Yeah. It's special. You can feel like good positive energy.
Yeah.
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 That makes me smile. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. People helping people.
Yeah.
Makes me smile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I have the best neighbors.
Right.
I live on the best street.
Yeah.
And I love where I live. Like, that's why going back to like, all this travel and this and that, you always always want to come back because this is like my home.
Yeah.
Right. These are my people. Like, so for example, my neighbor, she helped me sell some old furniture, an old dryer on Facebook. Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't have the time to do this. I can't be bothered. It's not my cup of tea. She did it all for me, sold everything. Right. And then I took her to the Sam Roberts concert. We went out for dinner. Right. And we had a great time. So, and it's just a nice friendship. Yeah. And I have a lot of those on my street. So yeah, positive experiences like that.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's precisely why I wanted to get you on here and talk about it, is that those, the world is full of reasons to smile, and often we forget to look at those reasons and sort of cherish or value or celebrate those reasons. And one of the things that I always enjoy anytime I'm in to see you every 4 weeks on, whether I need it or not, is, the joy that you bring to your life and the sharing, the way you share that joy. So, I appreciate it. One of the things that makes me smile is
thank you
talking to you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, we've had our struggles too. And, that's part of the game, right? That kind of makes you appreciate certain things even better sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And look at life with a different lens after you go through certain things, you know what I mean? So you appreciate life or certain experiences differently, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Right? So.
Yeah. And you use that as a tonic for the soul, right? Like,
correct.
In sort of troubled times, those shelters from the storm.
Right.
If it's not joy, what is it, right? Like, and how,
Yeah.
So, celebrate it.
Yeah. I like helping people as much as I can. Try to do things like that. Advice. I love giving younger kids, like, let's say like your boy's age, positive life advice.
Right.
And especially financial advice.
Right. Yeah.
Like, not exactly what to do with your money, but, don't waste your money on stupid things all the time, because, it'll catch up with you, right? I want to see people do well and live a good life.
The old saying, you want to spend $5,000 a year, eat lunch out every day, right? Like, if you want to save $3,000, put away $8 a day, like all those. Yeah. It all adds up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Making good decisions and sharing that. And I mean, you have lots to share, which is amazing. And I think coming back to you've learned a lot from the people that have come in.
Right.
And you've shared a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, totally.
It's awesome.
It is.